Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Huber, and today we are going to learn about teen numbers. We have learned how to count up to 20, we've learned how to count up to 100, but what we're going to do today is we're going to really look at the teen numbers and what are the teen numbers and what makes them a teen number. Okay, if we look down here at my screen, teen numbers are all of the numbers that fall between 10 and 20. So all these ones right in here. So let's count from 10 up to 20. Ready? Count with Mrs. Huber. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so again, the teen numbers are all the numbers between 10 and 20. All right, what do we call this up here at the top of my screen? Right, this is called a 10 frame. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a 10 frame to help us figure out and look at teen numbers. So I'm just going to use some shapes that we have to help us with our teen numbers. So let's just use some of Mrs. Huber's hearts to help us with it. What I want you to do is I want you to count with me and see what happens when we fill up our 10 frame. Ready? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we know just by looking at this 10 frame that that is 10 because it's completely filled in, and we know there's 10 squares in a 10 frame. Okay, so now that I filled up one 10 frame, do I have any more room to add any more? I don't. So that means now I'm going to go on to use another 10 frame. So this is where we're going to start talking about those teen numbers. Teen numbers are always going to be 10 and some more. And let me show you what that looks like. So what number comes after 10? All right, here's a number line. After 10 comes 11. I'm going to show you by adding another heart. Okay, so this is what 11 looks like. Okay, now I'm going to write over here on the side. So I know that 11, okay, that's a special name that we would call a 1 and a 1 together. That's a number 11. But 11 is always, 10. Why is it doing that? And one more, okay? And 10 and one more makes 11. Okay, so 10 and 1 is 11. That's where we get this number over here. All right, let's add another heart. What number comes after 11? Down here at our number line, after 11 comes 12. So let's add another heart, right? So we have 10 are at the top, and how many are on the bottom? 2. Very good. So let's write over here, okay? So we know that 10, why that's doing that, 10 and how many are on the bottom? 2. And 10 and 2 make what? It makes 12. Very good. So 10 and 2 more make 12. And 12 is just a word, a name that they call the numbers of 1 and 2 together. That's called the number 12. And 12 is a teen number. It is 10 and 2 more. All right, let's add another heart. What comes after 12 when we're counting? Right? 13. After 12 comes 13. All right, let's write what that would look like. So 13 is how many are on the top? 10. And how many are on the bottom? 3. And what would we say 10 and 3 make? Very good. It makes 13. If I didn't know, I could go back and count, right? 10, 11, 12, 13. Since I know there's 10 up here in the top, I don't have to go all the way back to 1 again and count all over. I can start counting on from 10. That's what a good mathematician does. They learn how to count on from numbers. All right, let's add another heart to our 10 frame. What number comes after 13? After 13 comes 14. Good. All right, let's write what that looks like. So on the top, we have 10. Okay, and how many are on the bottom? 4. Good. And what does 10 and 4 make? It makes 14. Good, right? Now, if I'm not sure, let's go back and count. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Very good. So what do you notice about 13 and 14, right? They both end in the word teen. 11 and 12 are those tricky teen numbers because they don't end in the word teen like 13 and 14 and some of the others will as we continue. But it's really important to remember that they are also teen numbers. So 14 is the name that they call a 1 and a 4. 14 is 10 and 4 more. All right, let's add another one. What comes after 14? 15. Very good. All right, so 15 is going to be 10. And how many more? 5 more. Good, right? If a whole row on a 10 frame is filled in on the top or on the bottom, we know that that is 5. So 10 and 5 more make 15, right? 10 and 5 make the number 15. So just like 13 and 14, 15 also ends in the word teen. So we know that that is a teen number. 15 is the name that they give 10 and 5, right? 10 and 5 is 15. All right, let's add another one. What comes after 15? 16. Very good. There's another word that ends in teen. So 16 is going to be 10. And how many more? 6 more. Good. 10 and 6 makes 16, right? So 16 is 10 and 6. 16 is the name that they give for 10 and 6. Okay, very good. All right, let's add another heart. What comes after 16? Right here, 16. After 16 comes 17. Very good. All right, so same thing. 17 is 10. And how many are on the bottom? 7. Good. So 17 is 10 and 7. And I write the number 17, a 1 and a 7. Okay, that's the number 17 written. All right, so 17 is 10 and 7 more. All right, let's add another heart. What comes after 17? 18. Good. All right, let's write that down. 18 is going to be 10. And how many more? 8 more. Good. And what does 10 and 8 make? 18. And 18 is written as a 1 and an 8. So we know that 18 is 10 and 8 more. So 10 and 8 make 18. That's the name that they give for that number, 18. 10 and 8 more. All right, let's add one more heart. Okay. All right, what comes after 18? 19. Good. All right, let's write that. If I squeeze it in down here at the bottom. So 19 is going to be 10 and, excuse me, how many more? How many do we have at the bottom? 9. Good. So 19 is written as a 1 and a 9, right? And 19 is 10 and 9 more, right? So 10 and 9 is 19. 19 is the name for that number. Okay, it also ends in the word teen. All right, if I add another heart, the last one to our 10 frame, what comes after 19? Good, it becomes 20. Okay, and 20, I'll write that over here. 20 is going to be 10 are on the top, and how many are on the bottom? 10. And what does 10 and 10 more make? 20. Good, right? When we learn how to count by tens, first we had, right? So we had 10, and after 10 comes 20, right? So 10 and 10 more make the number 20. And 20, is 20 a teen number? No, it's not. It's going to be the numbers that begins the numbers in the 20s. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, right? And then after 29 comes 30. Good. All right, boys and girls. So today we just learned about teen numbers, and we know that teen numbers fall between the numbers 10 and 20. And teen numbers are always going to be 10 and some more. So if I said, what is 10 and 3 more? You would say 13. If I said, what is 10 and 1 more? You would say 11. 10 and 8 more? You would say 18. So what I want you to do today is I want you to use that double 10 frame, and I want you to practice using whatever kind of materials you have at your house, right? You can use Cheez-Its or Cheerios, if you have beads, whatever you would like, and you can practice showing your teen numbers and talk about it. Talk about, oh, look, I have 10 and 1 more. That would make 11. 10 and 2 more. Oh, that would make 12. So I want you to practice after this lesson. Okay, you can print out your double 10 frame, or you can draw it on a whiteboard or a piece of paper, whatever kind of materials that you have at your house. All right, I hope you had fun listening to my lesson. I'll see you next time.